How are you making it? How are you doing? How are you? How are you making it? And how are you doing? Are other ways of saying, how are you? But I use how are you making it when I know someone is experiencing some kind of difficulty. How are you doing is similar to how are you, but sounds more interested in the other person and just more sincere. Hi everyone, it's Lynn here. I hope you're all well and safe where you are. Are you home now because of the quarantine? Because of COVID-19, the coronavirus, we're all trying to take care of ourselves. Before anything else, let's just practice that word in English. Virus. Virus. Coronavirus. Notice the sound V, virus, coronavirus. During times like these, we often use some expressions that we don't use as often other times. And today I want to share with you 9 common expressions in American English that a lot of people are using these days. We'll start by learning the expressions and how to pronounce them. Then we're going to have a little quiz so that you can practice. How are you feeling? Let's begin by expressing some emotions. What do we say when we're forced to stay indoors and can't go out? One thing we might say is, I'm cooped up, or I feel cooped up. To be cooped up is to feel like you're closed in and can't go out. It comes from the building where the chickens live, a chicken coop. So maybe you're like these chickens that must stay inside, and you say, I feel cooped up. Fortunately for me, I can come out in my backyard and I don't have to stay in the house, so I don't feel so cooped up. Now let's pronounce that. I feel cooped up. I feel cooped up. Also, because we can't go out and want desperately to go somewhere, we might say, I've got cabin fever. Cabin fever usually is used in the winter when we must stay inside because there's so much snow outside. Even though it's not winter now and snow's not keeping us inside, we still experience a strong feeling or a strong desire to get outside and go somewhere. To express that, we can say, I have cabin fever. Let's pronounce that. I have cabin fever. What about you? I have cabin fever. What about you? A big reason that we feel cooped up is that we don't have our normal routine. And so even though we do some of the things that we normally do, such as watch TV or play video games or use social media a lot, still, when we're cooped up, we do them so much that we want to do something else. We just get bored. But when we're really bored, we often say, I'm bored to death. That's an easy one. So let's practice this for pronunciation, because we've got some sounds that can be a little difficult. I'm bored to death. Notice that when we put to in the middle of a sentence, we rarely say to, we say t. I'm bored to death. And we've got a couple of D's in there. Remember in English, d. Hit that tongue right behind your teeth, inside your mouth, d. So, I'm bored to death. I'm bored to death. I'm stirring my coffee. Notice when I stir my coffee, the spoon has to stay inside the cup. Another expression that's very similar to I'm bored to death is I'm going stir crazy. We feel stir crazy because we have to stay inside in a small place. It's not just I'm going crazy. It's I'm going crazy because I feel all closed in. I want to get out. Let's say this one. I'm going stir crazy because I can't go out. I'm going stir crazy because I can't go out. Now remember in another video I made on can and can't, when we say can't, we're going to stress can't in the sentence. So let's try that one more time. I'm going stir crazy because I can't go out. I can't go out. I'm going stir crazy because I can't go out. In the same situation, when we're so bored or feeling so crazy, we might say, I'm about to lose it. The person who says this means they want to do something really desperate, like scream like very loudly, or hit the wall, or do something else really extreme. I'm about to lose it really means I'm about to lose control of myself. And it might be used in other situations when people get emotional, maybe even angry. People don't just lose it when they're cooped up. Now let's repeat that one. I'm about to lose it. I'm about to lose it. Those are some of the expressions about how we feel during a quarantine or when we have to stay inside. But another thing we worry about during these times is having enough food and other necessities, especially because it can be really difficult to go out shopping, or at least not as frequently as we could before. So suppose we look in the fridge and we see that we have a few eggs, but not very many, and we really need more. We might say, we're short on eggs. To be short on something means we don't have enough of something. This expression can be used even when there's no quarantine. If you're out with a friend and want to go someplace to eat, but you don't have much money, you might say, I'm short on money, or I'm short on cash. Let's practice one sentence with short on. It looks like we're short on eggs. It looks like we're short on eggs. Now, what if you go to the fridge and there are no eggs? Absolutely no eggs at all. You will probably say, we're out of eggs. When you need something, but you've used it all, you're out of that product. You can say, we're out of eggs. Or you can also say, we ran out of eggs. To run out of something gives the idea that you've used it all, now it's gone. The same thing is true for stores. These days, many stores don't have toilet paper. They have no toilet paper to sell to the customers. They are out of toilet paper. Or we can say, the store has run out of toilet paper. Or even we can say, the store has sold out of toilet paper. Stores can run out of or sell out of products. Let's practice. We're out of toilet paper. We ran out of toilet paper. Again, we're out of toilet paper. We ran out of toilet paper. Notice sometimes when we pronounce of in English, we don't really say of, we say We're out of toilet paper. We're out of. We're out of toilet paper. We don't have to say of in fast pronunciation. We're out of toilet paper. I'm not out of toilet paper. I have plenty of toilet paper. Why? Because I always like to stock up on toilet paper. Even when there's no bad times, just normally, I like to be sure I have enough toilet paper in order to be prepared. To stock up on means you buy more than you need immediately, more than you're going to use right away so that you don't run out. I like to have a good supply of toilet paper. Usually, when people stock up, they buy what they need and a little more, just to be prepared. Let's practice. We need to stock up on canned goods the next time we go to the supermarket. We need to stock up on canned goods the next time we go to the supermarket. Canned goods, goods that come in cans, like vegetables and soup and fruit, canned goods. Sometimes people learning English have trouble when it comes to using the verbs make and do. But you know what? We have a phrasal verb in English that puts these two verbs together. To make do. Yes, to make do. And we use that expression a lot when we don't have or can't get some of the things that we need. Like in times like now, we make do by substituting something different because we don't have what we really need. Yesterday, I was making some bread. Let's take a look. I have a recipe that requires 1 cup of milk, but unfortunately I don't have any milk. But I do have some cottage cheese. So I'm going to take a 1/2 cup of cottage cheese and a 1/2 cup of water and put them together in the blender to make my milk. Okay, I had to make do. Here's a sentence to help us practice. I don't have enough money to buy a new dress for the party, so I'll just have to make do with one I already have. I don't have enough money to buy a new dress for the party, so I'll just have to make do with one I already have. All right, are you ready for a little quiz so that you can practice? There are just going to be 5 questions. First, I'll give you a situation, and then you choose by the options that follow. I went to the store to buy toilet paper, but I couldn't get any. A, because the store was stir crazy. B, because the store stocked up. C, because the store ran out. I went to the store to buy toilet paper, but I couldn't get any because the store ran out. We have been under this quarantine for 10 days now. A, I feel cooped up. B, I will make do. C, I'm short on time. We have been under this quarantine for 10 days now. I feel cooped up. There's nothing to watch on TV. No sports, no good comedies, nothing. A, I have cabin fever. B, I'm bored to death. C, I need to stock up. There's nothing to watch on TV. No sports, no good comedies, nothing. I'm bored to death. There's no more beer in the fridge. A, we ran out of beer. B, we're short on beer. C, we have cabin fever. There's no more beer in the fridge. We ran out of beer. I've been inside for 2 weeks now. A. I'm going stir crazy. B. I feel cooped up. C. I'm about to lose it. D. All of the above. I bet you thought I was going to show you those chickens again. But yes, in that last situation, we can use any of those expressions. Let's repeat them one more time. I'm going stir crazy. I feel cooped up. I'm about to lose it. If you have questions or want to ask about the expressions I've used today, please do that down in the comments below. I'll be happy to respond. And I'd appreciate it if you could give this video a like down below. And also subscribe to my channel. I'll be having some more videos coming out soon. And just hit the bell to get notifications. Thank y'all for watching. And take care of yourselves. Nos vemos.